It is confession time. Guys, I have not been completely honest with you. I'm gonna come clean right now. Hang on. Alright, yeah. So the truth is that for a couple of months, I was using the Canon EOS RP to shoot these YouTube videos. Yeah, let's get into it. Alright friends, so this is a YouTube channel unboxing of, you already know, the EOS RP from eBay. Yep, this is an eBay purchase, and hopefully this is gonna be my new YouTube camera. Box. This is the original packaging. Oh, we have found the camera. The owner, I guess, put his little name on it when he was owning it. It is reasonable weight, but it's in decent condition. It's in pretty good condition actually. Just besides some of the dent, not mad at that. Yeah, so see it have like a 50mm STM on it, and it have the converter for the Canon EF to the RF mount. Oh snap. Okay, so he sent 2 batteries, that's cool, and 1 battery. And an intervalometer. Or is it just a remote trigger? It's just a remote trigger. That's not bad still. That's still some juice, and obviously it is working. So the great thing about the RP is you don't know. It's have a touch screen with touch autofocus just like that. So I got this camera, the EOS RP, with the thoughts that this would be the perfect YouTube camera for me, because it really did tick a lot of boxes on paper. It has a flip screen so that you can see yourself, major key. It has Canon's famous autofocus that people love. Also, I got it for the ease of use, not just for me, but there are times where, you know, we're on set, we're in the field, and I would want to give somebody a camera to film something for me, or maybe take some BTS for me. So many people cut them tooth on Canon, so they're very familiar with how to use a Canon. The interface is very easy. I put this in my camera assistant's hands, I put this in Habibi hands, I give this to anybody, and they can generally kind of figure out how to point it, shoot some video, shoot some photos. Nice. And most importantly to me is that the EOS RP is a full frame sensor, which means if I mount a 50mm lens on this, it's gonna be a 50mm point of view. No funny maths to do in terms of camera focus length. The main downsides that were being pushed by this camera is that the photos, the raw photos, aren't the greatest, and that it shoots 4K with a very punched in crop, and that you lose autofocus. If you haven't noticed by now, none of my videos are in 4K. So it being crippled as a 4K camera seemed perfectly fine for me. So what happened? Yeah, so I looked up a couple reviews, went on eBay and saw that this was a good price, so I ordered it. Thought everything was gonna be great because I have this, the Sigma 18-35 lens. It is a wonderful lens that I use professionally on my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K to shoot docu-style filming, and it is a world-renowned YouTube lens, and it's EF mount. So I thought it would be a wonderful YouTube harmony to have a full frame camera and a high quality lens. The Sigma is crop sensor, but I didn't think that would be a problem. I put the Sigma on different crop sensor cameras and everything's fine. You know, it should just scale up to 1080p. Or so I thought. You see, this camera has a secret. This camera has a very well hidden secret. In none of the YouTube reviews that I watched about the EOS RP did anyone mention that when you mount a crop sensor lens to the EOS RP, that it only shoots 720p. You will only have the option of shooting in 4K and 720p. You can't shoot in 1080p. What the hell? 720p, you know. 720p. I was so embarrassed about it. This master plan, I had to upgrade my YouTube setup, that I never mentioned anything about it. I never told you guys about it. For a brief while, I uploaded some vlogs shooting in 720p with this very setup and upscaling it to 1080p. And funnily enough, nobody really noticed, or nobody actually commented about it, but which is like a point towards that it doesn't really matter. But I noticed in a bad way. So there was only one way for me to solve this problem. I had to find a full frame lens that was wide enough to give me what I want in a YouTube setup, while also not being super heavy and affordable, because I'm not trying to spend like all these bucks just to get a YouTube setup. The mission is wide angle, low aperture, budget. You have to go to eBay for those things. So I grabbed my laptop and took to eBay, and after a lot of hunting, a lot of reading, making sure I'm getting the right deal, and a couple weeks of waiting, I found this. The discontinued Canon EF 20mm f2.8 lens. A fairly difficult find. It makes quite a lot of noise, but to be honest, I think it looks pretty good. And finally, now the videos are in 1080. Part of this video was shot on the EOS RP with the aforementioned 20mm lens. If you have any questions about this setup, please drop them down in the description. Other parts of this video was shot on the Sony ZV-1, and if you have any questions about that, also feel free to drop them down in the description. My name is Yannick Reed, visual creative from Kingston, Jamaica, and on this channel we like to talk about tech, creativity, and lifestyle, focusing on photography and videography. So if that sounds interesting to you, please hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one. Please stay safe and continue to bless up yourself.